Tomorrow marks the 100th anniversary of the start of World War I, and there's one story of the war few people have ever heard about.
Below the battlefields of France, a subterranean world where soldiers left a permanent record of their involvement in the war. In tonight's Fox Forward, Dan Godwin takes a look with a North Texas photographer who captured some powerful images.
Most of us are familiar with the grueling trench warfare that became synonymous with World War I. But below the trenches in France, an elaborate network of vast hidden places where soldiers would go and leave inscriptions, carvings, messages to future generations. Jeff Guskey is a North Texas physician. He's also a fine art photographer who got to take pictures of this unseen world. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Dan. It's great to be here.
So these places below the battlefields, how did they get there originally? They date back hundreds of years, right?
They were ancient rock quarries.
Rock quarries. Okay, so hundreds of years ago, the area would be dug up to supply building material for churches and whatnot.
And castles and cathedrals, yes.
Okay, so during World War I, soldiers fighting in the trenches would venture down into these areas, right?
They created underground cities with hospitals and chapels and offices and police stations, and there were street signs, and there were workstations and living spaces and food systems and plumbing and power systems.
Wow. And a lot of people are going to wonder, why isn't it more better known? Why haven't there been more photographs and film taken of these areas?
These have been kept secret by the landowners. They're all on private land.
Talk about what you were able to photograph.
Beautiful art, inscriptions made by soldiers 100 years ago, messages to the future. And they didn't talk about war. They talked about family, about girlfriends, about missing home, about prayer, about God, about loved ones, the things that mattered. It was their humanness that you see coming out.
So your photographs are going to spark a lot of interest, but these subterranean places are not going to become popular with tourists.
They're off limits.
Okay, to the public.
That's
Only
right.
Access is very carefully controlled. All right, the photographs you took will appear in the August edition of National Geographic magazine.
Yes. The best place to see them is jeffguskey.com.
Your
there
website.
There are hundreds of them available to see.
I know that this, for you, was the assignment of a lifetime, and we're going to look forward.
It's a great honor.
A lot of people are going to really enjoy what you were able to capture. For a look at the photos and more information, we've got a couple of links on our website. Just go to myfoxdfw.com and click on links.